As Provost and Academic Vice President of Salem State University, I am pleased to convene the commencement exercises and to welcome to today's ceremony you, the graduates, and your guests. Please join me now in standing as you are able for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I am honored to present John D. Keenan, President of Salem State University.
Greetings, class of 2021. Thank you for joining me. I know this is not the commencement you envisioned when you began your academic journey, and it's not the one you had hoped for over the past year. I too held out hope that a traditional, in-person ceremony would be possible. Unfortunately, the data told me that this could not be done while also maintaining the health and safety of our campus and our community. I know that this is yet another sacrifice from a class that has given so much to contain the spread of COVID-19. By switching to largely remote instruction, socializing through a computer screen, and giving up some of the activities you treasure, you have played a central role in protecting others during an historic global pandemic. Your sacrifices have been hard, but they have been in service. You have helped to protect the lives of those most vulnerable, and you have helped to keep emergency rooms from overcrowding so that people could get the care that they need. Many of you, through your studies and employment, have even been on the front lines of this pandemic, or will be when you launch your careers. So thank you for all that you have done, all that you will do, and all that you have sacrificed. Your impact during this historic time is truly heroic, and your ability to make it to graduation today, after perhaps one of the most challenging years in modern history, is astounding. I know that for many of you and your families, COVID-19 has brought even larger difficulties. It led to financial challenges, illness, and unfortunately, in some instances, it led to loss. I want to give my condolences to anyone who has experienced the worst of this pandemic. And despite it all, through grit and determination, you persevered. You continued your studies and made it to graduation. Please don't lose perspective of how monumental this accomplishment is. I am confident from that here on, there is nothing that the members of the class of 2021 cannot achieve. You are defined by your adaptability, your resilience, and your character. These are attributes that will serve you well and that our world needs now more than ever. As troubling as COVID-19 has been, it is unfortunately not the only crisis you've had to navigate this past year. The past year has illuminated long-standing faults in the fabric of our nation. We were required to acknowledge toxic impacts of systemic racism and hatred. A racism grounded in traditions of unequal treatment of individuals who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color. We witness gross inequity in systems of criminal justice, housing, economics, education, and medical care. We experienced a crisis in our political system that culminated in the storming of the United States Capitol by rioters. But amid the horror of this past year, there have been seeds of hope that speak to the ability of progress to thrive under the most difficult of conditions. People have awoken to racial and economic inequities in our country over the past year as we bore witness to the impact of traditions, policies, and practices that served as barriers to access. Many of us learned. We learned that injustice left unchecked is destructive to us all, and that bearing witness alone is inadequate. Your collective activism, intellect, and persistence through this challenging year forecasts a brighter future. We also saw history being made in the representation of women and people of color in some of the highest offices. We saw the inauguration of Vice President Kamala Harris, the first female, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to hold this office. And locally, Mayor Kim Janey became the first woman and first black person ever to lead the city of Boston. She was sworn in by Chief Justice Kimberly Budd, who grew up right here on the North Shore in Peabody, and recently became the first black female to lead the state's highest court. This long overdue progress does not negate the work that must be done, but we should celebrate these barriers being broken and how that will contribute to a more equitable future. And just as you've worked to hold us accountable here on campus, please continue to hold your respective disciplines, communities, industries, and elected officials accountable as well. Your time at Salem State has prepared you to contribute, to lead, and to make a difference. The future is bright, and your spirit represents the change that we need to see. There is also hope in the way that our country responded to the pandemic. People bought gift cards to support their favorite restaurants, purchased groceries for those in need, and volunteered to book vaccine appointments for complete strangers. Please, never turn down help when you need it, and take the opportunity to help someone who needs you. While we must address the inequities that this pandemic has further exposed, we can also appreciate the many instances in which we saw outpourings of support and compassion for others. We also saw a significant triumph in our scientific community, and that is something to celebrate. Just over a year since COVID-19 was detected in the United States, the FDA has approved vaccines for emergency use. This shines light on the true power of science and innovation. The fastest vaccine developed before that was for the mumps, and it took approximately 4 years. While COVID-19 vaccines might have been developed in a year, the scientific community took much longer to build. That foundation is a product of curiosity, inquiry, and education, of people who not only asked questions, but who had access to the opportunities that would allow them to pursue answers. Never stop asking questions, searching for solutions, and making it possible for others to do the same. And finally, as the national political landscape became painfully polarized, and it may have been tempting to look away from politics, the voters of this country showed up. Voters turned out in record numbers to have a say in the future of our country. The youth vote also increased and is believed to have tipped election outcomes in several states. Please continue to use your voice at the ballot box, in your communities, and elsewhere. In our commencement ceremonies this year, we will have the privilege of hearing from a leader who has used her voice to help address issues of social justice. We will hear from award-winning author, social justice scholar, and filmmaker, Dr. Monique Morris. I am proud to be granting her an honorary degree from Salem State University. And of course, there is also much hope to be found looking at the graduating class of 2021. Because amid all the challenges that we face, I take great comfort in knowing that those who persevered to graduation during these trying times are the ones who will lead us in the future. The ability of the class of 2021 to navigate this past year and complete your degrees is truly inspiring. Your Salem State degree will be a powerful tool, and I am honored to call you our alumni. So please, always hold on to that sense of determination that got you here today. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Your strength and resilience will always be remembered and admired. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Rob Lutz, Chair of the Salem State University Board of Trustees.
As Chair of the Salem State University Board of Trustees, it is with a great deal of pleasure that I congratulate each member of the graduating class and welcome you, your family, and friends to our commencement. I'm truly honored to represent the members of the university's Board of Trustees. As a member of the Board of Trustees, I'm extremely proud of the work the university has done in preparing you to successfully pursue the careers of your choice. The credit for the university's success, of course, goes to you, the students, and to your supporters, to your mothers and fathers, spouses, grandparents, children, friends, and all others who have supported your efforts here at the university. We are ever mindful of the effort required by each of you to reach the success you have achieved today. Thank you and congratulations.
It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Tiffany Chenault, President of the Salem Chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, who will bring greetings on behalf of the university's faculty and librarians.
Congratulations, everyone. Woo! It's graduation day. Throughout your education, you have navigated across a sea of unknowns. You have persisted through many shifting situations. You are graduating today because you prevailed, making choices and carving out your own destiny. In addition to being well educated in the liberal arts and in your academic disciplines during your journey throughout higher education, you have become aware of societal issues of economic, social, political, and racial inequalities. You have learned to use your voice on issues that matter to you. And you've learned to apply your creativity to critical thinking to overcome challenges that are uniquely yours. Graduating from college, especially during a pandemic, as we know, is no easy task. And many of you are able to do so. Also, many of you are the first in your families to go on to graduate in these trying times. I trust each of you have had many supporters who've kept you going, who've supported you along the way. As president of the union and the Salem State faculty and librarians, I can attest that for me and my colleagues, it has been a privilege to support you in your journey. One of the joys of being an educator at a public teaching university is seeing your individual successes and understanding how those successes matter in ever-expanding circles to your families and to your communities. Listen, this is the most important thing. Today, we celebrate you. We know you will go on to achieve great things for yourselves, for your loved ones, for your colleagues, and for the common good. We want to say to each of you directly and listen closely how valued you are as individuals. We hope Salem State will always have a place in your hearts and in your minds as you move forward and make a difference in the world. Today is your day. Congratulations. We are so proud of you all.
I am now pleased to introduce today's student commencement speaker.
Good day to all the friends and family here today to celebrate the wonderful accomplishments from my colleagues, associates, and now fellow alumni of Salem State University. It is an absolute privilege to stand here and praise the hard work and commitment we all work towards in order to reach this pinnacle. This celebration marks a victory for so many people. The support system behind the student is just as important as the professor in front. Because of that, we can all celebrate this hard-earned victory and cherish this moment as a time capsule filled with love, joy, and pride. I have never been afraid of a challenge, and these past years have been filled with plenty. This is something we all can relate to. It's not about the challenges, it's how we adapt to the challenges and keep moving forward. As we progress in our professions, we need to keep this strategy in the back of our minds. Obstacles often change, but staying on track with your goals will always get you to the finish line. I repeat, obstacles often change, but staying on track with your goals will always get you to the finish line. Just like everyone here today, The sacrifices I've made to better myself and everyone around me make this moment that much sweeter. The less difficult times were great, but it was the hard times that I'm so proud of. How I handled those hard times is what I will remember the most. I would always remind myself about my 3Ds and often repeat them over and over again. And when I felt like giving up, I would scream in my head, drive, determination, desire. Drive, determination, desire. Drive, determination, desire. You see, drive is the urge to attain a goal. It doesn't matter what challenges or obstacles there are. Keeping your goal in sight and continuing to work towards it at any cost is the first of my 3Ds. Following right after is determination. Determination is the process of reaching your goal, not giving up and to keep pushing even when you can't push anymore. Finally, desire. Desire is the want to accomplish your goal. No matter what else happens in this world, desire is the feeling of seeing things through until the end. The combination of my 3Ds, drive, determination, and desire, is what helped push me to excel and stand here in front of you today. Maybe not in the same order, but I'm sure that we all have shared a little drive, determination, and desire at one point or another. I want to thank the school, our peers, our friends, and our family for sharing this special moment with us today. To quote the great Rocky Balboa, going in one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. So let the bell ring.
Thank you for those wonderful words of congratulations and thoughtful reflections. President Keenan, I have the honor to present to you Dr. Monique Williams Morris for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Dr. Monique Morris, you are an educator and activist who has opened eyes and hearts by asking difficult questions and committing yourself to finding the answers. As a social justice scholar, filmmaker, and prolific author, you have sparked national conversations about how race, gender, and education intersect. Among your many talks and publications, your widely acclaimed book, Push Out: The Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools, revealed the deep injustices that exist in the very places that are supposed to be sources of opportunity. You present us with a way forward in your most recent book, Sing a Rhythm, Dance a Blues, Education for the Liberation of Black and Brown Girls. Your work has become essential reading for teachers, principals, policymakers, and more. Reaching beyond your impact as an educator and author, you have contributed your deep knowledge towards making progress through countless organizations, some of which include the NAACP, Grant Makers for Girls of Color, the Black Girl Freedom Fund, and the National Black Women's Justice Institute, which you founded in 2014. Your commitment to creating a more equitable, just, and promising world for girls and young women of color has positively impacted countless lives. Your dedication to finding the truth, shining light on it, and advocating for needed change is inspiring. Thank you for dedicating your life to closing opportunity gaps and leading us toward creating a society that works for all.
Thank you for this incredible opportunity to address you, the graduates of Salem State University. Congratulations, class of 2020, and congratulations, class of 2021. Today, we celebrate this incredible milestone with you as you enter the next phase of your life. For some of you, this is part of your family's legacy of higher educational achievement. For others, you may be the first in your family to achieve this honor. And now you can walk boldly in designing new pathways for educational achievement and attainment for your loved ones. There is no question that the past year has brought on unprecedented challenges, but through science, perseverance, ingenuity, faith, and love, and good sense, we've made it to this point. Pause to breathe and acknowledge these blessings, because it wasn't easy for anyone. Malcolm X once said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. That's a passport you now hold. Your future belongs to you. As you chart your course and consider the next part of your journey, I want to encourage you to understand your trip in the context of the many paths that may knowingly and unknowingly cross your own. The Nigerian author and scholar Chinua Achebe shared with the world that until the lions have their own historian, the story of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. I've always understood this as an invitation for us to explore the power of perspective and to understand how we are all participants in a greater narrative about the lived experience, both of a single incident and of shared societal ones. The story of the hunt is something that impacts not only the lions and the hunter, though. It impacts the fly on the lion's tail, the antelope and the zebra who may not be far in the distance. It impacts the grass, and it impacts those of us learning about it. The entire ecosystem is impacted by the story of the hunt. And so this is a metaphor for our justice work. All of us are impacted by acts of harm, acts of injustice. So we can't turn away from those paths that may be different from our own, or that don't appear to intersect with ours. They will still affect the ecosystem that we're a part of. So it all still impacts us. My invitation to you graduates is to engage a participatory worldview and actively seek to locate yourselves in the justice narrative. Your investment in your intellectual self is partnered with an opportunity to engage in narratives, conditions, and structures that are greater than just you. The work you will lead, the discoveries you will make, the lives you will impact are all consequential. Being in this position of leadership requires a commitment to align our actions with the idea advanced by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that justice is the use of power to correct everything that stands against love. Seeing yourself as part of the movement for justice does not require an extraordinary sensory perception. It also doesn't require you to have a fancy title. It requires that we make the decision to be part of the tapestry of healing in whatever sector, industry, career, life scenario, and or condition that we're in. Some of the most important spheres of influence that you will be in your own social and familial settings. This reality invites the wisdom offered by Nikki Giovanni, who explored the power of viewing what we do naturally as revolutionary, meaning explore your passions, offer your gifts, but always maintain a commitment to correct what stands against love while doing it. So I ask, will you use your power to correct everything standing in the way of love? Will you radically center the unconditional positive question in every inquiry? Will you uplift possibility rather than restrict opportunity? The challenge of this work is to be present in our current truths while being emergent in the strategies to design networks and interconnected systems that uplift the best in all of us. The challenge of this work is to engage love as a core value and justice as a metric for success. So the challenge is ultimately for you to consider not just whether you will locate yourself in the justice narrative, but how you will do so. Justice is not a pie to be divvied. It is as infinite as possibility. And you are called to join in the co-construction of that ecosystem. That is the future to which your passport grants access. Thank you, Salem State University, for the opportunity to share these moments in community with you. And again, congratulations, class of 2020, and congratulations, class of 2021. Be bold, be brave, and be loving.
Thank you, Dr. Morris, for your cogent and inspiring address. And now we have reached the portion of our ceremony that you've all been waiting for. Provost Silva, will you please present the candidates for degrees?
President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates for master's degrees and certificates of advanced graduate study. The candidates for master's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences will please rise as you are able. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching, and Master of Science with specification according to the program in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Science, according to the program in which you have qualified, with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for master's degrees in the Bertillon School of Business please rise as you are able? President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Business Administration and Master of Science with specification according to the program in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Master in Business Administration, Master of Science, according to the program in which you have qualified, with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Please be seated. The candidates for master's degrees and certificate of advanced graduate study in the School of Education will please rise as you are able. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Master of Education and certificates of advanced graduate study with specification according to the program in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degrees of Master of Education, certificates of advanced graduate study, according to the program in which you have qualified, with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
The candidates for master's degrees in the McGuire-Meservey College of Health and Human Services will please rise as you are able. President Keenan, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Master of Science in Nursing, and Master of Social Work, with specification according to the program in which they have qualified.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Salem State University and the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, I do hereby confer upon you the degrees of Master of Science in Nursing, Master of Social Work, according to the program in which you have qualified, with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
President Keenan, I am pleased to present the Salem State University graduates.
Courtney Adams, Alexandra Marie Adriani, Emma Louise Aflito, Sarah Najat Aledwan, Catherine Allen, Susan Lynn Allen, Siham El-Meskin, Joseph Aloy, Michelle Andronico, Connor Douglas Anthony, Alejandra Arredondo, Ivelis Arroyo, Sean Robert Atcherley, Carolyn Avery, Matthew Avigia, George Morara Ayoti, Susan L. Bacher, Eleanor T. Ballard, Salvatore B. Barbagallo, Sarah Barnes, Michelle Berry, Emma Teresa Bartlett, Caitlin Bartlett, Brandon Anthony Bates, Tracy Lynn Bean, Felicia Beaton, Joshua Austin Beckett, Jessica Beck, Andrew Beliveau, Stephanie Cassandra Bennett, Lucas D. Benson, Megan Elizabeth Betano, Abigail Rose Bickford, Mary Louise Bigos, Gregory M. Bingham, Alessandra Rose Visconti, Dory Lynn Bleeden, Andrew Bolduck, Megan Bolger, Matthew Ballin, Amanda Renee Borges, Ashley Boucher, Alyssa Boudreau, Michael Boulet, Jeffrey William Boundy, Stacy Braga, Abigail Catherine Brees Young, Craig Allen Brenn, Derek Jerome Brennan, Caroline Breer, Catherine Jane Brown, Danielle Jordan Bryan, Patrice Ann Buccieri, Erin Ann Buckley, John Buckley, Larissa Vladimirovna Bukovka, Kim Michelle Burdett, Elena Z. Birdman, Jessica Burke, Julianne Burridge, Jordan Busquetto, Jessica Butler McCollum, Amy Cheever Candelora, Julia Rose Carey, Richard Carpenter, Alyssa Carizales, Kelly Grace Cassidy, David J. Kaysen, Lindsay Sue Castanguay, Megan Elizabeth Castanguay, Laurel Chabib, Jamie Chase, Joya Mary Chancharulo, Angelica Rose Cimino, Lauren Elizabeth Cipoletti, Rachel Parmelia Serena, Salimata Cisse, Megan Claffey, Megan Clark, Gabrielle Clark, Derval M. Cleary Bentley, Crystal Ryan Clooney, Brooke Janine Cofield, Brian Cohn, Alexander Colby, Stacy Marie Colella, Sarah Marie Coleman, Megan Coletti, Julie Lynn Collins, Laura V. Collins, Jacqueline Elizabeth Colucci, Mackenzie Como, Alyssa G. A. Connery, Sarah Michelle Condict, Susan Karen Connolly, Cassandra Elise Conti, Jessica Contois, Dina Saba Kurani, Elizabeth Proctor Coughlin, Melissa County, Kristen Victoria Kuto, Kayla Dakota Cox, Catherine Sheila Crane, Sadie Crane, Thomas J. Craven, Cecilia Cresta Devine, Kathleen Joan Crichton, Marina Del Carmen Cruz, Aaron Curley, Kiera Danielle Dade, Brian D'Amico, F. Simone Dancier, Aaron D'Angelo, Chelsea Elizabeth Davidson, Erin Elizabeth Davies, Ariadne Torres, Alicia Marie De Gusta, Mark Vincent Delaney, Rachel Maureen Del Solio, Alex Demaray, Melanie Demory, Sarah Denny Golab, Kender R. Desrosiers, Eleanor Gleason Duvall, Helena Diamond Carite, Christina Di Maria, Caroline Diorio, Eleni Dixon, Caitlin Maria Dolan, Emily Helen Donahue, Christina Marie Dorr, Elizabeth Douglas, Emily Doyle, Megan Drain, Hannah Lee Drew, Maeve DeLay, Alan Joseph DuPont, Dakota Wingate Durbin, Danielle Eggleston, Kristen Eisenzoff, Orsamuyemen Ekator, Rachel Ann Emmons, Nicole England, Samantha Marie Earl, Michelle Janice Irvin, Jessica Elizabeth Esposito, Adriana Estrada, Kimberly Evans, Alyssa Fallon, Vanessa Federico, Christina Ann Fields, Casey Janelle Fitzgerald, Tracy Ann Fitzmartin, Martha Mary Fleming, Kelly Ann Flynn, Melissa Jean Foley, Michelle Foley, Patrick Michael Foley, Lauren Joyce Folino, Kathleen Foreman, Kylie A. Forgione, Brianna Fortado, Gallus Fotabom, Courtney Friedman, Melissa Freitag, Leah Ann Freitas. Brianna Nicole Gagnon. Jason Russell Gardner. Daphne Carla Georges. Andromahi Christina Giacomas. Laura Jean Godino. Carissa Marie Goffredo. Beth Ann Jessica Goldman. Keani N. Gomez. Jennifer Gonzalez. Jackson Barrett Goodwin. Caitlin Marie Goodyear. Dana Gordon. Ryan Goslin. Brianna A. Goulet. Cecilia Maria Gray. Courtney L. Green. Megan Green. Lisa Gralu. Courtney Marie Guadagno. Leanne Guarino. Emily Therese Gunn. Amna Abdulaziz Haider. Amy Renee Hallman. Whitney Wayland Hammond. Do Hong. Audrey Linda Hardenstein. Allison Hare. Dylan Michael Hay. Madison Hirt. Bailey Hendrickson. Emily Wu Hung. Emily J. Hennessy. Jason Scott Hensley. Alana Hurt. Jennifer Marie Haru. Robert Leslie Hines. Vanessa Hogu. Dina Marie Denise Holder. Robin Hollenbeck. Ezekiel Holt. Xiaobo Ho. Megan Elizabeth Hubbard. Daryl Michael Huntington. Julia Imposimato. Jill Ippolito. Ayon Iwasaki. Neil Jacobson. Hannah Elizabeth James. Caroline Beatrice Jankowski. Christina Jauregui Figueredo. Migda Jean-Baptiste. Kristen Jennings. Xiaohang Ji. Brianna Lynn Johnson. Devin Nicole Johnson. Lena Johnson. Liam Henry Jones. Kara A. Jusam. Angelina Calafatis Finley. Jennifer Rose Casper. Shelby Therese Katis. Jeannie Laurentine Funang Kia. Christina Kodinsky. Lauren Costigan. Taylor Allison Kermis. Stephanie Lattis. Jody C. Lambert. Emily Baldwin Lambkin. Sarah A. Lampasona. Patrick S. Lamusta. Penelope Michaeline Lane. Rebecca Grace Lang. Katie Ann Lanigan, Danielle Larocque, Karina Laye, Emily Elizabeth Lauria, Carrie Lessess, Emma W. Letterman, Mi Young Choi Lee, Lydia Ruth Lightshoe, Jocelyn Sarai Lemus, Jennifer Sean Lenacek, Scott William Levine, Le Mong Lee, Lu Bing Lee, Sarah Olivia Libby, George A. Little, Leah Jeannie Livermore, Ashley Loyacano, Nicole Colette Luongo, Melissa Dara Luchin, Caitlin Maybe, Samantha Lee McInnes, Jennifer Mahoney, Chelsea Carol Maylette, Anne Carol Mailo, Nelson Maldonado, Milena Jean Melanson, Danielle Malte, Katie Nicole Marasco, Tracy Lynn Marino, Holly Markevich, Christine Marmon, Allegra Rose Marone, Nicole Martini, Joyce Martins, Christine Masella, Marie Matherin, Marissa Lynn McCormick, Carrie William McDermott, Patrick William McFall, Jessica Marie McGonigal, Rachel McGovern, Nicole Elizabeth McKenna, Kayla McKinnon, Allison McNamee, Andrew John McNeely, Whitney McNeely, Leslie A. Means, Eileen Mendoza, Leah Olivia Marullo, Michelle Elizabeth Mazansky, Molly Milanes, Thomas L. Milius, Catherine Elizabeth Miller, Rachel Elise Miller, Madison Molea, Emmeline A. Montoya, Patrick Michael Morse, Patricia F. Mora, Paul Moratidis, Diane Mowry, Molly Marie Murphy, Siobhan Marie Murphy, Flutura Mustafa, Catherine Meyer, Hiba Nasiruddin, Kathleen Arigoses Naza, Lin Dang Tui Wen, Tien Kim Wen, Megan Elizabeth Nicola, Amanda Mihan, Fabiane Norona, Hannah Noseworthy, Kathy O'Brien, Megan O'Connor, Kelly O'Donnell, Samantha Oglesby, Nkemdilin Obiageli Okeke, Caitlin Elizabeth Orlando, Jose Esteban Ortiz, Jessica Palladino, Hannah Louise Paquette, Sabrina Marie Paratore, Jacqueline Parsegian, Samantha Lee Peavy, Lilia NMN Perliger, Ann T. Perriello, June Allison Margaret Perrin, Olivia Petrus, Cynthia Petrucci, Ryan Patrick Phelan, Stacy Jean Pierce, Victoria Pike, Monica Lee Pimentel, Christina Jean Pixley, William K. Platt, Joanna Plotz, Christophe Poirier, Adriana Porter, Julia Potter, Blondine Pousseau, Amanda Powers, Fiona Prentice, Imani Price, Taylor Prizio, Kelsey Pucho, Nicole Radulski, Jacqueline Naomi Ramirez, Ronaline Louise Ramutar Singh, Patricia Ramsden, Kristen Elizabeth Riley, Elias Reynoso, Valerie Renee Joseph, Gabriela Landeo Reni, Christine Rhodes, Nicole Eleanor Doucette, Melissa Frances Ring, Ingrid Marisol Rivas, Colleen Roach, Sophia Johnston Robledo, Diana Rochelo, Ramon Andres Rodriguez Mesa, Shanley Maite Rodriguez Ramirez, Gabriela Rodney Rodolfo, Megan Rogers, Stacy Rogers, Kiana Rolfe, Nia Rollins, Celinette Romero, James Victor Rooney, Shannon E. Rose, Larry Ross, Erica Ann Roth, Cherry Russell, Molly Ryan, Erica Lee Sacramone, Katerina Saenz, Elvia Nelly Salazar Lapo, Paola Jasmine Samboy, Nur Mustafa Samurai, Belkis Sanchez Castro, Nicholas Santoro, Samantha L. Santos, Jacqueline Bari Saunders, Jamie Saxonus, Michael Scatamaccia, Kelly Scott, Shada Serafat, Rachel Shanley, Jade K. Shaw, Olivia Rose Schluger, Teresa Marie John Short, Nodira Sidikova, Rebecca Ann Siefkin, Brianna Silva, Gabrielle Patrice Silvanich, Leichi Sim, Kristen Simberg, Brooke Lindsay Simpson, Amanda Brooks Skinner, Claudia Frances Smith, Erica Susan Smith, Holly Smith, Kyle Smith, Mary Beth Smith, Siobhan Smith, Susan Smith, Rachel A. Sorrentino, Julianne Souza, Mary Ellen Spillane, Emily Rose Cronin Stanley, Teresa Stegner, Richard Alfred Stewart, Nicole Stoiko, Natessa Callie Storm, Brooke Stott, Jessica Lynn Stryhalalek, Olivia Carmen Studley, Kermsheska Swazo, Jennifer Sullivan, Megan Thomas Sullivan, Rachel Ann Sullivan, Scott Ryan Sumrall, Craig Surdom, Sarah Sutton, Kristen Swanson, Anya Sweetnam, Erin Elise Tardanico, Joseph Taylor, Ann Powers Taylor, Lincoln Acre Teal, Amy Nicole Tedesco, Maria Terry, Aaron C. Tetani, Danielle Jones Tyson, Jenna Marie Thomas, Jennifer Ray Travaglini, Bree Lena Treffry, Kara Treach, Caroline Grace Turnbull, Jill Eden Toomey, Shakira Urenia, Mireles Vaca, Kristen Mary Bibi Weissvilla, Sarah Valentine, Zay Lee Valera, Dimitra Maureen Vilonis, Jennifer Di Maria, Ana Maria Alakisha Wadi, Elizabeth Grande Wallman White, Barbara Wallace, Joy Wallace, Fiona Walsh, Victoria Ann Walsh, Casey Elizabeth Walton, Rebecca Wangerine Wolf, Jill Wayrinen, Elizabeth Marie Weber, Colin Montgomery White, Sarah Christine White, Adriana Janice Wilson, Nicole Wise, Sydney Jacqueline Yancey, Camille Rose Zafrani, Gabriel Zarkadas.
Congratulations to the graduates. New graduates, you have many to thank for assisting you in achieving the wonderful milestone of a college education. The faculty of Salem State University were a critical part of your success. New alumni, please join me in showing our faculty our appreciation. And now, to bring us greetings from the Alumni Association, is Double Viking Deborah Lee Surface, Salem State University's Alumni Association President.
Hello, graduates. I am Deborah Lee Surface, Salem State University Alumni Association President. I am a double Viking. I graduated from Salem State with a bachelor's degree in art in 2005 and my MBA in 2019. My path to becoming a Salem State student was non-conventional, and maybe like many of you. My career at this university, as I'm sure you can relate, was full of people who showed me compassion and who had a desire to see me succeed. I found where I belonged, and it was in the most unexpected place. The university, its faculty and staff, offered me so many opportunities and provided me the chance to make connections that would help me as I grew in my career at Salem State and beyond. But those opportunities and connections were unexpected because I did not have any intention of attending Salem State for my education, let alone 2 degrees. But ultimately, and fortunately, I fell in love with this institution. So how does someone who never had any intention of attending Salem State end up becoming a double Viking and the president of the Alumni Association? Let me rewind to 2001. I had applied early decision to the University of Rhode Island and knew that was where I wanted to be. There was no question. After declaring my major, making the cheerleading team, moving to URI early to start practice, and finally attending my first week of classes as a freshman, I had an epiphany. I hated it. I called my parents and said, I hate it here. I can't stay here. Thankfully, they supported me in my decision. I would return to the North Shore and go to Salem State to take some classes. Luckily, before leaving high school, Salem State had a table set up in my school for on-the-spot admissions. And while on the way to lunch that day, I said, hey, why not? They waived the application fee, my dad went to Salem State, and let me just apply. So I did, and I got in, full well knowing I was going to go to Rhode Island. Well, that one application, filled out on a whim, opened so many doors for me. Salem State, in my time of need, offered me an opportunity to return home from Rhode Island and find that feeling that I was missing. When I came to Salem State, I instantly felt at home. I instantly knew it was the place for me. I took night courses to begin with, and eventually I was admitted to the honors program, where I was awarded a presidential honors scholarship. 4 years later, like all of you, I walked across the stage at graduation as a newly minted alumna and would return several times over the following decade. And now, I stay connected because of all Salem State has given to me, given all of us. I have chosen to be part of the Alumni Association for the past 10 years and become an adjunct in the Bertillon School of Business because I want to give to future students what Salem State gave to me. I want to be a part of helping to create opportunities for students like you and me and ensure every student has the chance for that unique experience that culminates in the pride and connection we all share. Every aspect of my connection to Salem State as a student, an adjunct, and Alumni Association president feels like home, and everyone at Salem State feels like family. And for all of you, graduates, your family is going to grow in leaps and bounds following today's ceremony. Our alumni community is over 70,000 strong, and you're all now a part of that community. The Alumni Association is here to support you and be a support system for you to continue that connection to the university as you had as students in your postgraduate lives. Our graduates work together to support and lift each other up. The Alumni Association sponsors events and activities throughout the year to connect you, to our immense alumni network and offers you the opportunity to stay involved within your major, your new profession, and your passion. Whether you graduate today and follow the lead of over 85% of our alumni who remain on the North Shore, or chart your own course, you will join our fellow alumni in fueling the economy, keeping us safe, educating our communities, keeping us healthy, and working on the front lines during the pandemic. While you are continuing to show the world all that makes you a Viking, your determination, grit, and resiliency, remember to stay connected to the place where you honed those traits. The opportunities Salem State has provided to all of us was just the beginning. As you go out into your communities, know that the university, through the Alumni Association, still has so many opportunities for you to explore. Graduates, once again, congratulations. We all look forward to seeing the differences you make in your communities and how your lives will be changed with the degree you received today. Please stay connected so we can see that transformation. Come to our events, stay in touch, or reach out to me personally so I can buy you a cup of coffee and we can talk together about your future.
I hereby pronounce today's commencement ceremonies adjourned.